Do you guys want us to go get their mics for the purposes of the screen or what?
Yeah, I think so. Is someone else wants to go to the screen? Yeah, there's already. Are we gonna?
No, we're just gonna walk around and engage. Go ahead, take the lead.
Okay.
All right. Do you want a microphone? It's on. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. On behalf of Faith Islamic Academy, Parent Teacher Association, we thank you all for joining us today. My name is Layali Ali. I'm a parent of a third grader currently at Faith Islamic Academy, and I'm a community member of 20 plus years. The topic of internet safety that we're going to discuss today is vital for all parents to understand, to protect and guide our children through the dangers of the internet and social media platforms. We are so blessed, alhamdulillah, to have community members such as Sara and Shayma, who are highly accomplished in their respective fields that are willing to take the time out of their busy schedules to come educate our community. I'm going to pass it on to them.
All right, so thank you guys for being here. Please feel free to ask any questions during the presentation or afterward. Some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about is geared strictly to the kids, teenagers, young adults, but the information is equally important to adults. I've been in law enforcement, I've been a police officer going on 15 years, so I'm going to talk about a lot of things that I see with kids and adults, and just a disclosure, nothing I say is the opinion of the Attorney General, the Governor, or Copley Police. This is just all based on my personal experience.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Shayma Shandi. I have been a school counselor for 10 years now, alhamdulillah. The first 5 years were in Maple Heights, suburb of Cleveland, and now I am in Streetsboro, which is about 25-30 minutes from here. I have been a school counselor for K through 5. Sometimes I do 6, but most of my years have been 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. And whatever I say is also based on experience, and or if it's in this PowerPoint, it's probably also based on the research that I found online. But speaking to my mom, who's a teacher here, sometimes she will tell me like, hey, what do you think about this? And I think that kids here, internet and technology is great as long as you're using it appropriately. You know what's out there, you know how to make boundaries, you understand the safety and non-safe parts of it, and know how and what to do when something does go wrong. So, Sara, you can go ahead.
Do you want to use a clicker? Do you want to plug it in? It's right here. Do you know how to plug it in? Do you know how to plug it in? All right, so while she's hooking up the clicker, I just want to let you guys know that like the primary thing that we want to relay to you is the importance of safety, okay? Not just safety, but like, let me tell you something about your brain, okay? Little kids in the room. The front region of your brain, right here, like your frontal lobe, that's responsible for decision making. For girls, it's not fully developed until you're 25. For guys, it's not fully developed until you're 27 or 28, okay? So we don't expect you to make good decisions. We don't expect you to live your life and make no mistakes at all, but I want you to understand how serious your safety is, okay? As a police officer, I've had the responsibility that I hate. One of the worst part of my jobs that I hate immensely is calling a parent or going to their house at 3 in the morning and letting them know that their kid is never coming home again because they were at the wrong place at the wrong time. And it's even 10 times worse when the kid didn't do anything wrong, but they were with someone that did something wrong, okay? I taught DARE for 6 years. I'm a school resource officer. I love working with kids. And I've arrested some of my kids because they went out and made bad decisions. And I always tell the kids, I don't care about you getting in trouble. I don't care if you get arrested, because you are free to make whatever decisions you want to make, but you have to deal with the consequences of your decisions. And there are some things in life that are irreversible. Like the best police officer, the best judge, the best doctor, the best parent can't help you get out of some of the problems that you guys can potentially get yourself in because of your decision making. So when you think about your decision making, when you think about internet safety, when you think about social media, when you think about the strangers that you guys talk to online and game with and all this other stuff, I want you to think about, like, am I making safe decisions right now? And if I'm not, am I putting myself or my family in jeopardy? Because this is not just about you. When you post things online, you're giving people, like strangers, access to your personal life. They know what you look like, they know where you live, they know what your parents look like, they know what your parents drive, and things can just like really go south from there. So when you make certain decisions, I want you to just think about your safety, okay?
This slide is just asking, I guess, the kids.
Your microphone. Nobody can hear you.
The kids here. I don't want you to disclose if you don't want to, but who here has social media? 2 people are brave. Oh, 3, 4, 5. Oh, little ones. Some people are outing other people.
It's okay.
Okay, I'm not, this is fine. I'm just asking, so who here has Snapchat? Snapchat? Okay, who here has Instagram? That's good. Who here has TikTok? I know everyone here either has TikTok or watches it. Who here watches it? Even if you don't have it, you can YouTube TikTok videos. She doesn't allow you to? Okay, that's good. She's a smart mom. So computers and technology is good. Cell phones are great, but it's how we use them that make a difference in our life. So sometimes parents go to is like, oh, you did something wrong, I'm taking your cell phone. But that doesn't really resolve the rooted issue, because I understand this is a tough topic for teachers, and even at my school, the adults are like, take the computers, take the cell phones, but it is a mode of communication for kids. Regardless of what we think, it's kind of like taking a car. We used to be on horses, then we were on buggies, now we're on cars. So like types of communication have evolved, and this has become like a very predominant way of kids communicating. Now, is it good to have friends off of school time or while you're at home? Completely fine, but like, what do we do? Who are we friends with on social media? I am going to probably assume, just like my own son, that I do have conversations with on a regular basis. You guys are friends with strangers on these social media platforms. I know you don't have 500 friends, so anybody here friends with people that they've never met before? That you've never met before? We're just friends because I want numbers. Like, that's what Khalid tells me. Khalid's like, dude, I have 500 friends, and I'm like, you have maybe 15 or 20. Everyone else you are really sharing your private information with. So we're just going to talk about, the next thing we're going to talk about is, I don't know why the clicker's not working.
Why isn't the clicker working?
I don't know.
Is it on? Let me see it.
I turned it on. I know this is a tough subject for parents, communication in general with our kids, because sometimes we don't know what's going on. We're afraid of what our kids are going to say to us. Sometimes I do have anxiety approaching, for example, Khalid. Like, hey, I saw this picture online. I'm friends with my son on every single platform he's on, and when I go like this in front of him, he hands me his phone, because we do have a pact or an agreement between me and him. If you want social media, I just want to make sure you're safe. It's not that I don't trust you, but I definitely don't trust people around you. So communicating with our kids, I know it's hard. We do think that like, oh, they're just chatting with the friends that they know, or they're playing games. Who here plays Roblox or Fortnite? So those are I know you parents already know this, those are gaming services, streaming services. Some kids, parents only allow them to play with their own peers that they go to school with online. I have kids at my school that obviously do not play with their own peers, and I've had the police come to my school because they have shared information online, like in conversations, people online will ask you, like, hey, what school do you go to? Where do you live? Where do you hang out? And I have had a 33-year-old man show up to a girl's house because of the information that she put on Roblox, just chatting with normal people. And of course, that's scary to have. So, like, not because our kids are playing a game means they're actually being safe.
Okay, just to add a little bit more on that, like I told the adults in the room today and previously, a lot of the mistakes that you guys make as kids, adults make the same mistakes. Like the conversations that I have with 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, I have with people that are 40, 50, and 60 years old. Why? Because they disclose way too much personal information, and I know that we all watch different things. Me personally, I watch crime TV to relax at night. I love watching crime TV. And there are series. You guys know what series means? Like groups of TV shows on crime TV. One of them is called like I Met a Stranger Online. And it's like 25 episodes of like really bad, scary things that have happened across the country, usually to women, from online dating, right? Meeting people online. And there's a whole bunch of other ones. Like I just watched one yesterday. The whole series is called How I Escaped My Killer. And every single show, the conversation started online. Because when you are online, you have absolutely no idea who you're talking to. They could say it's a 14-year-old girl and it could be like a 50-year-old man. Or they can say they're a 50-year-old man and it could really be like a 13-year-old boy. You have no idea. Like they go online and they impersonate. And really bad things happen when you talk to strangers. I don't even talk to strangers in real life. Like when you look at my pictures in my phone, in my photo albums, on really good days when I'm celebrating my success, on really bad days, you'll see me around the same 10 or 12 people. I don't mess with strangers. I don't talk to people that I don't know. And I sure as heck don't follow people on social media or allow them to follow me if I don't know who they are in person. And something that like our society lacks, do you guys know what lacks mean? Am I using big words? Okay. Something that our society struggles with, kids and adults alike, is we struggle with standards. Like you guys are very easily affected by peer pressure. You want everybody to like you. You want everybody to think you're cool. You want the most number of followers, when in all reality, all you're doing is you're making a bunch of fake friends that don't care about you, and you're allowing complete strangers into your life. And I know that like you guys are very young and you're naive. And coming from like a police officer's perspective, our world is completely different. Like we deal with the worst people in society. When do you call the police? When something like really, really bad has happened and you and your family can't handle it. People don't call us when good things happen. So kids and people in general, it's not just kids, you guys are very naive. You have no idea the amount of evil that exists in our world. And you have no idea who your neighbors are, and you have no idea that there's like a whole bunch of people out there that go out every day and their main purpose is to hurt kids or to prey on kids or to do whatever to try to get money from you or other things. So having a whole bunch of strangers follow you online, all you're doing is you're opening the front door to your house. You're like, this is where I live. You guys want to come rob us when we're on vacation? You want to come steal our cars since you guys like to post everything all the time and you overshare? All you're doing is you're letting people know when you're not home. You're letting people know what kind of cars your family drives. You're letting people know where in the community you live. And then, not to even mention, there's a lot of people out there that don't like Muslims, right? It's hate crime. You're just giving people more MO to hurt you and your family.
And just a personal experience about 3 weeks ago. So I know that kids your age are thinking, this would never happen to me. I'm not that stupid. That's Khalid's first thing. He's 17 years old and he's like, Mom, that sounds so suspicious. I would never fall into that trap. I'm not that dumb. I had a 5th grader about 3 weeks ago. Her dad called and said, I need to speak. Well, he called the school and he said, I need to speak to the principal and the counselor. My principal was not there, so I met with the dad. He saw his daughter's phone on a table in the morning, and he saw text messages from, it was not a name, it was just numbers. It was like X and then a whole bunch of numbers. So he read what was going on in text messages, and he came to the school and said, I called the police and I want you to help me talk to my child. Like, I was like, what is going on? So it looks like she is a 5th grader. She's 11 years old. She's been talking online on Snapchat with an individual who I asked her, I said, hey, do you know who you're talking to? And she's like, yeah. I said, is it a boy or a girl? And she's like, I didn't ask, but I'm pretty sure it's a boy. I said, okay, do you know how old this boy is? And she's like, no, I don't know. I told him I was 12, even though she's 11, but whatever, it doesn't even matter. I said, okay. I'm asking her about the conversation that she's having with this 12-year-old boy about just like the issues she's having. And I said, like, hey, me and you have a really good relationship. How come you're not talking to me about this? And she's like, I'm just afraid that, you know, you're going to tell my dad and blah, blah, blah. So we're having this conversation and 2 police officers walk in and they just give me this look. And I'm like, so that means I need to speak to you. Stepping outside, I go outside. We take her dad outside with us, and he said, we trace the IP address because anything you post online, all the police need is your account information, the other person's account information. They will track the IP address. Even if you're using a VPN, they're gonna track it. And they showed us a picture. It was a rap sheet. It was a 33-year-old female that was a male at the end. It was 12 photos of how she started out as a female and now she's a male, 33 years old, talking to an 11-year-old at school about all kinds of personal issues. Now, this girl, when she heard this, she was crying, she was upset. I told her like about my life, I told her about this, and for her to realize that I wasn't even talking to a boy, or for her to realize I wasn't even talking to a 12-year-old was devastating. And she was like, I'm turning this off, I'm turning this off, I'm turning this off, I'm never gonna text again. But it's not that. Like, you have to realize, I always tell Khalid that do not talk to anybody that you've not physically met. Like, your friends at school, sure. Your friends in the community, sure as well. But a friend of a friend of a friend, no, because you don't know that person. You don't understand the effect that person is gonna have on you and your decision making. You have listen, our parents raised us with values and morals. Other parents raised their kids with values and morals. Khalid has friends. I don't let Khalid do things that his friends who are Muslim, their parents allow them to do. Like, Khalid has a curfew, earlier curfew than other kids. I'm not embarrassing. I'm telling you, Khalid is, for example, not allowed out of the house after 9 o'clock. His friends are there till 11 and 12. That is a value I instilled in my son. But what I'm saying is, even your friends can affect you. So you may not think something is too bad, and an older friend or a different friend might convince you otherwise. So you also have to understand that the friends that you guys keep will affect the decision making that you're making, the decisions you're making.
So I don't have a picture of this slide up because Shaimat put the PowerPoint together, but I just want to let you guys know that when you post something online, it's there forever. It is there forever, and we have the tools to bring it back. You can delete it, you can burn your computer and laptop, you can clear your history, you can tell everybody else to take it down. Law enforcement has the tool to bring it back up. So like, if you're threatening someone, if you're posting pictures that you shouldn't be posting, if you bully someone and cause them to like harm themselves or take their life. And I want to tell you something about pictures. So if you take a picture from your phone, because we all have iPhones or Androids or whatever, if you take a picture from your phone and you upload it, we can download that picture into a software, and it gives us what kind of phone it was, the software, your GPS location, the date and time, the weather, your IP address, the type of computer you were on. like a whole, it gives us two sheets of information. So sometimes, because you guys are spontaneous, and sometimes like you make decisions without thinking, which, like I said, sometimes adults do the same thing. You post a picture, or you post something mean to somebody, or you bully somebody online, and then you realize that you're going to get in trouble, so you try to take it down. We can still bring up what you guys post, which in return, I don't know what you guys want to do for the rest of your life. Like, I know you all want to be TikTokers or bloggers or whatever your ambitions are with the whole online world. But keep in mind, if you want to do something in the future that involves people, like if you want to go into law enforcement, if you want to go into teaching, if you want to work for a hospital and they do a background check on you, like, I don't remember the statistic, but I know, like, in law enforcement, like 90-some% of the people that apply to become police officers are dropped out of the process just because they search their social media. Just because they're searching their social media. And they may not be doing anything on their social media that's illegal, but sometimes they're saying mean things to other people, the way they dress, the way they live, the way they do their nightlife, whatever the case may be. So you guys are what, like 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade? Oh, did I offend you? 7th grade? Okay. There's things that you guys can do today as your age that can possibly ruin the rest of your life. And that can keep you from getting certain jobs, and that can get you in a lot of legal trouble. So before you post something, I want you to remember that we have access to it, and that it doesn't matter if you delete it, we can still pull it up.
And that is very true, even in education right now. Like when we're hiring teachers right now, or teachers' aides, or anybody, I promise you, I have been on a committee that searched the person's name. I looked at Twitters, I looked at Facebooks, I've looked at Instagrams, and anything that the district sees, for example, like, yeah, she looks like she does a lot of outside, you know, not like she said, not necessarily illegal things, but risky behavior or this, and that is a liability for the district that we're not going to have, so that person gets dropped out. So you do have to make sure that when you post something, like Sara said, it doesn't matter if you took it down. I've had kids get in so much trouble because of all these different social groups that they're on, and she posted a picture of me and he did this, and parents will take pictures of it, and then kids will take pictures of it and post it on other areas. So like, not because you took something down means no other person saw it. Everyone already saw it, or whoever saw it already saw it, and whoever reposted it. So if you delete it, if you repost it, it's there. So, and I have seen things before. I would try to go to the original video that a kid posted, and it's not there, and it says video no longer available, but it's on this girl's Facebook or on this girl's Instagram. You can still see it. So posting stuff is like, it's cool to post like yourself, I don't know, dancing or making jokes or laughing, but make sure that you're not posting anything that's going to ruin your reputation even as a child, because your reputation follows you. Like, people are like, oh, you know, Sara Shandi, oh, I know, she used to do this and this and this. You don't want to be known for doing things later on in life, even as a kid. This slide right here is just things that we're going to touch on. So these are just, listen, I'm all for technology. I'm all for using technology safely. No one here under 13 should be on any social media, because that is the legal age. When I had a police officer and they talked to anybody in my school that was under 13, the parent is right there like, hey, you have a legal obligation as a parent. You need to make sure that she doesn't have this social media anymore. They can actually fine parents if it continues causing problems. So these are just some of the things: inappropriate content online that kids just don't know how to navigate. Like, TikTok is one thing. I have TikTok, but if you go through, parents in here, if your kids have TikTok, I would take that phone, and the thing that you will first see, it's called the For You page. Whatever you see, the first 20 videos, that is pretty much what your kid has been watching. If it's car stuff, it's car stuff. If it's jokes, it's jokes. If it's, I don't know, education, like I watch a lot of educational stuff and I follow a lot of educational adults on there, then you'll see educational stuff. But if you see other content, that is the content that your child has been watching. It is based on what you have liked, because you like this page or you like this person, this is what we're giving you on your TikTok. So if you do want to know what your child's watching, their For You page is exactly what they've been looking at. So inappropriate content, online privacy is a huge thing. Sara was saying, you have the power to put boundaries so people, privacy, like I only add friends, or I turn off my geolocation. So if people that follow people around, stalkers, yes, will look at your pages. If you don't have geolocation turned off, they can see exactly where you took the picture and follow you and see exactly what your routine is, and that's how people get abducted, for example. Not you, but I'm saying in general. I have all my geolocation turned off, so if I ever, which I never post something, no one knows where it was posted. Online exploitation, so that is strangers online meeting kids and exploiting them in one way or another. This has happened in my district this year, and I had a student kill himself because of this. 17-year-old, one of Khalid's friends that he met, he killed himself because he made one mistake that costed him his entire life, and he was the only child of the parents. He was exploited online. He shared some stuff online, the person threatened him, he didn't think there was a way out of it, and he killed himself, and it was really, 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 really tragic. And this week we had 3 more teenagers. Again, I know you guys think you're smart and you don't think somebody can outwit you. These are horrid, horrid people that know exactly what you are interested in. They will groom you, they will be friends with you and make sure that they develop a relationship with you. And then as soon as you share something they can use against you, they will use it against you and threaten you until they get what they want. So that's online enticement and sextortion. Cyberbullying, Sara kind of mentioned that, we'll go in, and then sending and receiving inappropriate pictures is another issue that kids face online.
So I know that, like, because you guys are really young, I can't share with you some of the things that I've dealt with in Copley as a police officer, because it's very graphic and very violent, and I don't want to traumatize you. But I will tell you that years ago, we had a 16-year-old kid for 6 months. Do you guys know what grooming means? When someone is grooming another person, that means like they give you a reason to want to befriend them. They give you a reason to like want to fall in love with them. They buy you presents. Do you guys need to split up? Do you guys need to split up? Yeah, because they're having issues focusing. So years ago when I was in Copley, the 16-year-old kid was kidnapped. Okay, he was kidnapped from Barberton, and he was taken to one of the hotels in Copley, and really, really, really bad things happened to this kid. He was abducted. Like, how often do you hear about that? And he was taken to a hotel, like I said, and to make a long story short, I'm not sharing details of what happened because it's very graphic, but he jumped out of the hotel room, he jumped through a window naked, he was bleeding, and he ran into Macaroni Grill. Remember, I was supposed to pick you up that day from the airport, and I ended up staying at work because he was wrapped in a bed sheet, was bleeding because he jumped out of a window. You guys know those big windows at the hotels? He ran for his life because he was going to die. The 67-year-old man that kidnapped him was going to kill him. And they met online. And the whole 6 months they were talking, the 16-year-old kid thought that he was talking to another 17-year-old boy. So this guy groomed him for 6 months. These people will be after you for years. Just like I'm good at my job because I do it 40 hours a week, and she's good at her job because she does it 40 hours a week, and your parents are really good at their job because they do it 40 hours a week. That's what these people do for 40 hours a week. They seek kids and adults that share way too much information, and they're going to come after you. They can come after you because of what you post. They're going to come after you for money. They're going to come after you for other things that are highly inappropriate and against our culture and religion. And it all starts with a simple conversation online with someone that you know absolutely nothing about. And I just want to tell you, like, they catfish you. So, like, they'll take pictures of people from other states, and they'll make a whole profile, and they'll make the profile seem very real. And you're going to think you're talking to a 16 or 17-year-old boy that you have a lot in common with, or a 16 or 17-year-old girl that you have a lot in common with, when in all reality, it's a 65-year-old sex offender from another state that will drive across state lines and come get you. Like, it's really that serious. It's very, very, very dangerous. It's extremely dangerous. And like I said, you guys are so naive, and you're like, oh, this will never happen here. It'll never happen to me. It can happen to you. It can happen to any one of us. And the only thing that separates you from that not happening to you is your decision making. That's it. Hang on, Ahmed.
And in saying that, there was a case. There was a 16-year-old girl that met someone online. It was actually over the news. She met someone. The person told her they were 18. She was 16. They actually met up with her parents' permission. Again, you should never be meeting strangers no matter what. And if I was a parent and my child was like, oh, we're going to this concert in California, I'm going to meet this person there, I'm going to be like, no. But this girl, I guess her and her parents went to California to a concert, and they met there, and the person was not what the girl thought it was, and she turned this person down, and her parents made a scene. But he had already groomed her enough to know exactly everything about her and her family. They're from Indiana, I believe. Within 3 days, this person drove from California, I believe, to Indiana and murdered her and her parents. And this is just a person, and she included her parents. This is why I'm saying parents too. Like, not because your kid saying, oh, I met this person online, they're really nice. If you, like, I'm a parent, I have Khalid, of course, he's 17, and I have Kenzie and Yazi, who are 6 and 7. I always say, like, how was your day? Who did you talk to today? Who made you smile? Who made you cry, if you did cry? I ask Khalid the same exact things. Like, Khalid, who are you talking to? Like, he'll be chatting online or talking to FaceTiming with people. I ask Khalid the same exact questions. Who are you talking to? Who are you hanging out with? Sometimes if he tells me he's going somewhere or to someone's house, I ask him for the parents' information, and I have talked to the parents before, because I don't trust anybody. I don't care who you are or what religion you are or what your values and morals are. As a parent, the only person I care about is my son, and the only person I trust is my son, or care about is my son, the safety-wise. So please make sure that you are very, very safe when it comes to that, because if you are talking to somebody here, that's fine, from your school, but if you're talking to people that are online, and a lot of things, listen, not every stranger is bad, but there is bad out there. So, like, I'm not trying to scare you guys. Please play your games, but be mindful of who you're talking to, or be mindful of what you're sharing on there. And like Sada said, the grooming, it's very, very subtle. This 11-year-old girl at my school, it was never like hey, what's your name, how old are you, and where do you live? It was over weeks and weeks, like, oh my God, you're 12, I'm 12, are you in 5th grade? Oh, I'm in 6th. What school do you go to? What are your sports? And from the 17,000 conversations they had, this person had already put notes together of everything about her. And thank God her parent saw her phone and saw the thing, and the police were involved, and that person was arrested because you lied to a minor. So online, some of the things that our kids do see, I understand, like, Islamically, we value modesty. We value certain things culturally and religiously. We have different beliefs, but we know that we're in a society that may value it, people that may value it and people that don't value it. So protecting our kids is, like, definitely our #1 priority. But when our kids are online, these are the things that they see. They definitely, to me, nudity is like anything that's not like covered to a good extent. So, like, even pictures on the beach, to me, like, even my daughter will walk in the mall and she'll see a store and she's like, oh my God, Mama, she's naked. And I'm like, yes, to us she is. So, like, kids see that. Do our kids know to not look at it? I don't know. Curiosity definitely is an issue for human beings in general. So, like, I hope, inshallah, our kids know better than to, like, look at things. Excessive violence, I think the games that kids play, and Sarah definitely, she knows Khalid plays, when Khalid was young and he played on Fortnite, she's definitely against violent games. I have kids that play really, really, really violent games, and these kids are very violent at school as well, because you become desensitized. It's a big word for saying that the more violence you see, when you actually see violence in reality, it doesn't shock you as much. When you hear a lot of cuss words all the time, nothing new to you guys, I'm sure. When you hear it a lot and where you use a lot, when somebody else uses it around you, you're not like, but like if you use it around the preschool, kindergarten, first grader, they're going to be shocked because they don't hear it and they don't use it. So, Sada also said that we are Muslim. We're in a society that is not predominantly Muslim, so you will see hate speech. And that stuff affects us. Like Khalid, like sometimes he'll be like, Mom, look at this video. And it's of a guy like really shaming Islam and really shaming this, to the point where Khalid, while he was going through school a couple of years ago, he didn't want people to know that he was Muslim. So that to me is really sad, because he's seeing the hate that people have for Muslims online. I told him that's not everybody, but when that's all you see, that's all you think that exists. And then, of course, risky and like illegal behaviors. People post everything, and that's entertainment, but that's not entertainment for your age. It's not even entertainment for me. I just think that's just people that want clout and want numbers and want, you know, to get paid in what way, and they put their life at risk, and they put a lot of other people at risk at the same time.
So with all that being said, I also think that a lot of people your age and older, even my age and older, they struggle to be a leader. Like it's almost easier for people to be a follower. And what's the difference between a leader and a follower? A leader is someone that stands up for the right thing, that is always going to do the right thing despite of what peer pressure says. A follower is like, oh, since my friends are doing A, B, and C, I'm going to do A, B, and C. My friend started vaping, I'm going to start vaping. My friend smokes weed, I'm going to start smoking weed. My friend drives like 90 miles an hour in a 60 mile an hour zone, I'm going to do the same thing. Like, understand that whatever issues you guys are dealing with right now in school, it's going to magnify and get 100 times worse when you're an adult. Like, your life never gets easier, you just get better at dealing with everything. So the people around you, you're always going to be like the 5 people you hang out with the most. And that is a rule of life. So if your friends are, like I told you guys, one of the worst parts of my job is knocking on parents' door at 3 in the morning and be like, hi, it's Officer Shendi with Copley PD. I'm really sorry to tell you your daughter was just killed in an accident. And they're 15 or 16 or 17 or 18 or whatever. Or your son was just shot in the head and it was an accident. He was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. And it's tragic because these people did nothing wrong. Like, they weren't drinking, they weren't speeding, they weren't trying to hurt anybody. They were just at the wrong place at the wrong time. So your friends, like when you guys graduate from middle school and high school and you go to college, and even after you get out of college, understand that you will become like the 5 people you hang out with the most. Like, we talk to Khalid all the time, like, about his friends. And I obviously don't hang around anybody that makes illegal decisions because of my job, but I don't hang around people that like have anger management issues, or that are disrespectful, or that smoke, or that like their house and their car are dirty. Like, my standards with the people that I hang out with are very high. I'm very bougie when it comes to who I allow in my circle. And just keep in mind, like, your safety, your family's safety. I met this girl in Copley on a traffic stop, like, I don't know, 10 years ago. She had a full ride scholarship to med school, full ride. She was driving a beautiful white BMW. She was stopped for speed. There were 4 people in the car. We got 2 guns out of the car and a whole bunch of drugs, and because she's hanging around with irresponsible people that lack respect. So do you think someone in the car took responsibility for the weapons that we found and the drugs? No, they didn't. So guess who we charged? All 4 people. Her car got towed, she lost her scholarship, and she spent 3 days at Summit County Jail. So her entire life in 1 second is altered and ruined because she decided to let people in her car that live a certain lifestyle. So when you pick your friends, like, it's okay to be picky. It's okay to have very high standards. It's okay to be like, oh, you do this? I'm not hanging out. Like, I love you as a brother in Islam. I love you as a sister in Islam or whatever. You can call me if you're having a bad day, but you're not coming to my house. You have no business being in my car, and we're just not hanging out because I care about my future and my safety, and you're out here making bad decisions. So you could be doing everything right, but if you're hanging out with people that are doing things that are not good, it's going to impact you. It might take a month, it might take a year, it might take a whole decade. Your life will come crumbling down in seconds just because of who you're hanging out with. We'll take questions later. Thank you.
Okay, so we ask our kids, we as parents, most of us, because we're tired, we're irritated by the time we get home from work, we just don't want to deal with issues, but like, we do have conversations with our kids, but they're very surface. I am guilty of that. Sometimes I just like, Khalid would be like, can we talk? And I'm like, I'm so tired. Can we like talk another time? Or I don't purposefully go to Khalid and be like, hey, what did you do today? Like, what happened during this time? What happened during this time? It's very hard, but like, it's not too late, even if you have like a teenage kid, to have a conversation with them and to develop that relationship with them. Like, hey, I'm really trying hard to have like maybe a breakfast once a month with Khalid. If you have more than one kid, ربنا معاكم. But I do try to sit with Khalid and be like, hey, so who are we hanging out nowadays? Like, what are your friends telling me? And I will tell you, Khalid is very truthful with me and will tell me like, hey, no judgment. Also, parents, like if you approach your son with an attitude or yelling, which guilty all the time if it does happen, but if we approach our kids with like any sense of like, I'm gonna be mad at you, I'm gonna shame you, I'm gonna yell at you, I'm gonna be so disappointed, our kids are not gonna talk to us. And I would rather Khalid come to me with a problem than go to his friends who cannot resolve any of his problems either, or go to someone that doesn't have my same values and morals. So I think as parents, we need to start having these conversations. Like, you see your son online, like, what are you doing? Who are you talking to? I will be standing here for a few minutes just to like, they do have like chats on the side. Sometimes I do watch those chats just for the boys that play with Khalid. I know exactly what you guys have been saying. Oh, hey, Khalid, how are you? Anyway, I do very much try to ask Khalid, like, who are you talking to nowadays? What are you guys up to? Oh, we're going to do this. Tell me when, who, and where. Because as a parent, if you don't do that, you're leaving it pretty much up to the kids to venture off, especially as they get older and they're driving. You're leaving them to like, you do whatever you and your friends are doing as long as you come home at the end of the night. I don't care if you're doing something illegal or not illegal, if you're speeding in the car, if you're doing whatever it is. So like, as parents, is that in? I'm sorry. I don't want to speak. It's Maghrib already? Okay. I don't want to talk to that then. Oh, that's right. Sorry. I don't want to speak. Yeah, sorry. We're going to take a break.
All right. The show continues.
Just one last thing. I urge every parent to have calm as much as you can calm, because our kids really, poke and push our buttons, but as much as you can, be very calm with your kid when you're having conversations, even when they make mistakes, because they are kids and they're going to make mistakes. But Khalid knows, I don't care if you murdered somebody. Please come tell me, because I would rather know and help you through it and figure it out than, God forbid, something else happening. So the boy that I told you guys about in Streetsboro, the 17-year-old boy, he met someone online, and actually from the FBI did get involved from the time. His name is James. If you want to look it up, it's on there, and there's a whole bunch of information about how to help when it comes to that. His name is James Woods. From the time he chatted with this person that he did not know, who said it was a girl and sent a fake picture of a girl to him, until the time he killed himself was 14 hours. And had he not had his parents been home, I'm sure it was a different story. Actually, James was at a college fair that morning on Saturday. He literally went to a college fair to for admissions and see the campus. And then his parents came home. It was 5 o'clock. And they're like, hey, we're going to go get some food. Do you want to come with us, or do you want us to bring you food? And he's like, no, I'm going to stay home, because he was chatting with someone, and he knew something wrong happened, and he was trying to fix it on his own. And then when his parents came home, he was not alive. But anyways, just so you guys know, like I said, I would rather know if Khalid is doing something wrong, or if any of you guys are doing something wrong. I know you don't want to disappoint your parents. I know you're afraid of punishment. I know you're afraid of, I don't know what kind of thing your parents could possibly do they're not going to end your life. I don't think they would. So whatever it is that you ever messed up on, hey mom, I vaped. Great, let's talk about it. Hey mom, a girl asked me out. How do I deal with that? These are conversations I'm having with Khalid, because he's 17 and I know these things happen. Hey mom, this happened. I would rather Khalid or your child come to you and ask you and tell you these things, knowing that, you know what? Even if I am disappointed, it's okay. I understand we make mistakes. I've made mistakes as a parent. I've made mistakes as a teenager. But let's have a conversation and we'll figure it out together. So make sure you guys, the last thing to say about this slide is to have an open conversation with your parents.
And we're going to take a break for Maghrib prayer, and we'll see you back here in 5 to 10 minutes, or however long it takes you to pray. All right?
Assalamu alaikum. Inshallah, we'll break for Salat al-Maghrib, and then we'll come back, inshallah. It just takes us 10 minutes to be back, inshallah.
All right, you guys, take your seat, please. Omar, have a seat. Okay, so we don't have too much time together remaining while they continue to try to fix the PowerPoint. I just wanted to emphasize, since we have some new faces in the room, the reason why we're doing all this is because of, we want to stress to you guys. Am I interrupting? Okay. We wanted to stress to you guys the importance of your safety, okay? The reason we're having this whole conversation is because we want you to make safe decisions. And the online world is a potentially very scary world, and we want you to think twice before you befriend people that you don't know, before you begin a conversation with strangers, whether it is via a game or another platform, and before you allow somebody access into your personal life. Okay?
And Sara kind of talked about this topic earlier about like what is okay and not okay to post online. Personal and private information, pictures, like Sara said, you post certain things, you're putting it out there like this is my parent, this is my sibling, this is this person. Also, tagging people is probably not a good idea. I know you're tagging people because like, oh my God, I just posted online, but when you tag people, so the student that committed suicide in my district earlier, it was November, it was actually a couple months ago. He had tagged one of his friends online. He met, may I add also, he met this person on Snapchat. And then after he met this person on Snapchat, the person said, hey, let's take this conversation on WhatsApp or like a personal chat because it's more private. And so that's what they did, and they talked and talked and talked. And like I said, he made a poor choice of exchanging pictures of himself, that this person told him to take a picture of yourself, obviously inappropriate. And this person acted like they're a girl. And so he posted it, he sent it to the person. This person was like, hey, this is what I have. I know what school you go to. I know who your family members are. I have your entire friend list. If you don't send me this much money, he asked him for $5,000. Again, this is online. You can look it up. He asked him for $5,000, and James is like, I don't have $5,000. And the person threatened and threatened and threatened. I'm going to expose you. Your whole life is ruined. I think 489 text messages within a couple of hours, 2 hours maybe, of threats that ended up leading to that. He sent him like $144 on Venmo. This is how they make, because you can't trace some of the stuff that happens online. And so please make sure and understand that like when you also tag your friends or allow people in your circle, they now have access to your friends as well. So make sure these are the things. So like personal, also, I have so many issues at my school because this is my best friend. I gave her my login information for TikTok. Well, your best friend is your best friend today. 2 weeks later, she's not your best friend, and she hacked into your TikTok and posted some stuff, and now you're in trouble. So like, please don't share your personal information. I don't care who your best friend is. I wouldn't even share it. I mean, I would share it with my sister because I trust her, but like, do not share your personal information with friends either. Like, do not have actually somebody very nice here was telling me that she was on a gaming platform and she was creating a world, and she created her and this person created a house, and it seemed like a good friend, and this person, as soon as they went into the home, was like, where do you live? Red flag. No one should ever ask you where do you live. And she was smart enough to log off. No one should ever ask you for personal information online, and it will happen very nonchalantly. Nobody's going to be like, hey, what's your name, what's your address, what's this. They will easily get the information with you from conversations over a couple of weeks, a couple of days, a couple of months. So please do not share any personal information at all. And if you're going to put pictures online, just again for the kids that have not been here before, you can go into your privacy setting and turn off your geolocation. That way you don't ever have somebody that's trying to figure out where you're at. Stalkers. People stalk people, so make sure you turn off your geolocation on your apps. Checking and sharing current locations online. So I know some people here, I have Khalid and my family on Life 360 or Find My Friends for a safety reason. Don't include other people that you don't trust in that either. I would not include them.
So I also wanted to say, like, you guys get so tripped up over your friends today. I talked to 2 people from my high school, maybe 2 people, the friends that you have now, that like you're disobeying God for, that you're disobeying your parents for, that you're failing classes for, that you're making all these bad decisions for, thinking that they're worth it. 10, 15, maybe 5 years from now, you're not even gonna talk to them. Like, they're gonna be nobody in your life. And I can't emphasize enough the importance of your friends, okay? Like I told you guys before, I have 900 phone numbers in my phone, primarily because of my job and me knowing people on a state and local level. You will always see me around the same 10 or 12 people. I'm very selective with who is allowed in my car, who's allowed in my house, and who I allow around my family. Like, I literally have 12 friends that I hang out with. Because think about when you let someone in your life, how much they know about you. Like, you're letting them in your house, you're letting them in your private space, your bedroom, you're letting them around your siblings, and something can happen tomorrow and that friend can become an enemy, and you're really giving them a lot of resources and a lot of information for them to be able to destroy your life. And again, I'm just sharing this with you because I hope that you guys have future goals and ambitions, and I hope you know what you want to do, like when you're an adult. But the background checks that we do, especially if you want to go, like everybody's like, I want to go in the FBI, I want to go in the Secret Service. Whatever you want to do, if it's law enforcement related, whatever, the background check is extensive. Let me tell you what extensive means. When I went through the background for Copley, the detective came back and he's like, you owe Roberts Middle School, the library, like $5.82. They're going to talk to everybody you grew up around. They're going to come back and talk to your teachers about your attendance and how you behaved in school. They're going to search all of your social media, everything you've ever posted. Remember, you can never take it down. Like, when you post something online, it's never, ever, ever really gone, ever. And just keep that in mind, because you guys can do things today. I don't care if you're 9 or 19, you can do things today that can and will ruin the rest of your life in terms of what kind of job you get. And if you have no ambitions, then you have nothing to worry about. You can work at like McDonald's or Taco Bell or Arby's for the rest of your life. But if you want to do something really great with your life that involves working with people, especially in a school setting, a hospital setting, law enforcement setting, they're going to like they do background checks for 6 months. Like, for 6 months, you're my project, and I'm going to learn everything about you and your family, and that's going to decide whether or not you get that job. So, like, a lot of the stuff that you guys are doing now that we deal with, remember I told you I was a DARE officer for 6 years and a school resource officer, and I deal so much with kids, and I'm just like, you just ruined your life. You just posted this picture, it's never coming down. This is what this picture says about you. And we deal with the same exact issues with adults. Like, adults lose their job over social media. It's the biggest and fastest way to weed someone out of a job process, of an application process. And then you could be doing everything right, but like I explained to somebody that I love and care about before, not only do they look into you, but if you give me your phone number, I can pull up the 12 people that you talk to the most, and I'm going to research those people as well. Because I want to know what kind of people you keep around you, because if I'm a chief or if I work at a hospital or a school, I'm not going to hire you if you're hanging out with people that are getting arrested, getting speeding tickets every other week, and just involving themselves in very reckless and risky behavior. So that's when I say deep background checks, they're not going to leave any rock unturned.
I know we're like short on time, but for parents, again, I don't know if you know that your child has social media or not, but it's a good conversation to have. If they're above 13, the law says they can have social media, but you as a parent can determine if they're mature. I think it's really a maturity thing. I don't think 13 means you're mature. I don't think 16-year-olds are mature. I don't even think 18-year-olds are mature. And the only thing, like Khalid, I'm going to pick on you, is almost 18 years old. And I understand with being 18 years old here in the United States, you're considered an adult. I told Khalid, there is nothing special about being an adult. The only thing that it does is it allows the law enforcement officer to, if you did something wrong, charge you as an adult. It doesn't give you privileges. It doesn't give you freedoms. You can vote. That's a responsible thing. But being a kid, that's all. You're just protected age-wise. So make sure, like, parents out there, just have a conversation with your kid, like, hey, we talked about this stuff today. Like, what social media do you have? Like, who are your friends on your social media? They can do a cleanup. Any of these kids can go with their parent and be like, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. Or I follow this person because I follow a lot of Muslim people on TikTok because I love learning about Islam. Even TikTok has Muslim stuff on it or Islamic stuff on it. It has educational stuff on it. It has law enforcement stuff on it. It can be, the internet could be very, very educational and very fun, but it's the things that we do for entertainment that could really ruin us. And sometimes, like, you are watching things online that make you feel bad about yourself because you're gonna sit here and be like, I don't have this, I don't look like that, my friends don't act like this, I don't drive that, and you start comparing yourself, and everything online is probably not very, like, Muslim, I guess, is what it is. And so it makes kids question, like, man, Islam is tough. You don't want to watch things that are going to make you feel bad about yourself in any way, shape, or form. So, like, have a conversation with your kids about it. If you allow your child to have social media, go in the settings and make sure that make sure that the privacy is set to private. I have had kids at my school that have gotten in all kinds of trouble, and I'm not allowed to look at their phones without their parents' permission, but when the parent is there, I'm like, you can look at it, we open it, and, like, your child's is not private. Anyone in the world can access your kid's pictures. There she is doing this, here she's in a park, here she is in her bedroom just, you know, doing dancing things, but these are, like, it's a window for strangers into your life. That's what the internet is. So make sure your privacy settings are turned to private. No one really should have access to your stuff except people that you know. Just like I ask Khalid who your friends are in real life, I'm going to ask him, who are you talking to online? And I know that Khalid is talking to, like, kids usually that he knows here, or his friends from outside of school that he's playing Fortnite with or chatting with or FaceTiming with. I do. Just like reality is keeping our kids safe in reality is important. Keeping our kids safe online is also important. Teach your kids about warning signs, and mashallah, like I just said, the student in the back said that, you know, as soon as this person asked me, like, where do you live, I signed off. You have power. If somebody shares anything or asks you anything and you don't feel comfortable, report that person. Report that person to the server, report that person to your parents. The kids that have, there are kids at my school that have been on Roblox. I'm not going to go into detail because it's not appropriate for you guys, but there are some really bad things that have happened on Roblox before to students, like virtually happened to them, to their avatar, for example, not to them. But we did report it to the server, report it to the police, report it to the site managers, whatever it is, and, like, take yourself off of it. You don't have to participate in any of that stuff. So you have that as a power. I'm all for calling the police, not because my sister is one, but they are there to serve and protect. And if I don't know something, I do call my school's police officer and I'm like, hey, I don't know how to deal with this. This is what just happened to this child. Can you help me? And they will come because they can do way more than we can do at a school. And like I said, boys and girls, if you did anything wrong or if you have done anything wrong, I promise you, having a conversation with your parent they should be the first person you go to, because I promise you, nobody cares about your safety and your well-being more than your parents. You can ask Khalid. I have told him, if you kill somebody, please let me know. I will help you. Like, I will get you whatever. Lawyers. Khalid would never do that, but I'm telling you, like, the worst thing that you could possibly do, even if you, like, decided to experiment with a drug, because unfortunately, society puts peer pressure on us. Smoking or vaping or whatever it is that's out there, because you guys are going to grow and you're going to go to high school, and unfortunately, we don't have an Islamic high school. You're going to go with other people, and it happens all day, every day, inside the school and outside the school. It happens anywhere you go. So, like, I will have a conversation with you, like, listen, yeah, that is what kids are doing. I have had a 6th grader last year who decided he wanted to be cool and vape, and I don't think that he was aware that he had a medical condition, and he flatlined in the bathroom. And somebody found him on the floor, white, very pale, and we had to call the EMS, and thank God they obviously got him and he's alive. But, like, please tell your parents, I understand we want to fit in, but, like, who are you trying to fit in with? Is this person really going to help you? I know you don't want to hear the Islamic aspect, like, you want to go to Jannah or you want to go to heaven, but it's not that. You want a good life. You're not going to have a good life if you're going the wrong way and hanging out with the wrong friends. So make sure you do tell your parents if you do mess up, because I would rather hear it from my kid than hear it from the principal or the teacher or the police officer. Khalid actually told me one day he had an interaction with a police officer, and I'm like, thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. Don't ever do that again, because that's the relationship we have. I don't care. To a degree, no, I do care what he does, but I don't care as long as he tells me. That way I can help him as a parent. And finally, if you are cyberbullied, if you are truly cyberbullied, like people are coming after you, they know your accounts, they're treating you bad, they're posting about your whatnot, there are tip lines that you can report to. That's just one of the websites, or you can call the police in general.
And don't ever, ever, ever in your entire life give anybody any of your personal information. Don't ever, ever, ever send anybody money, ever. It happened to me before. My dad, like, I travel a lot for work, and my dad texted me one day and asked me if I was in England. And I was like, are you serious? Like, I tell you, when I go to Columbus, I'm not going to go to another country and not tell you. But what these people do is they hack into your email, and they hack into your phone, and they learn a whole bunch of personal information about you, and then they text your family, and they say, like, hey, remember I told you I was going to Puerto Rico? While I'm here, and I lost my luggage, and I lost my wallet. I need you to send me, like, $2,000 right now because I'm in jail or whatever. They talk just like you. They text just like you. They sound just like you, and they will send messages to your family, and they ask for money. Don't ever send money. Don't ever share your personal information. I helped Akron Police Department a couple years ago with a case, and Shaymet keeps saying, we're Muslim, we're مش عارفة إيه. I just want to let you guys know that in the world of law enforcement, there's absolutely no difference. I've arrested people that are Muslim for everything from domestic violence to sexual assault to robbery to burglary to homicide. They commit the same exact crimes. Unfortunately, there's no longer a difference. If you choose to lead a certain type of lifestyle, you're going to run into the police, and it's not going to be anything good. So we do have certain ethics, and we do have certain morals that we abide by, but there's no separation. Like, I'm telling you, we've arrested a lot of Arabi Muslim people for every single crime that we've arrested non-Muslims for. There's no longer a separation at all. So don't, and when you start driving, because I know some of you in here drive, some of you don't leave your mail in your car where someone can see your address. Don't leave your car unlocked. Don't walk to your car by yourself. Like, when we talk about, like, personal safety, people always think that I'm going to come in here and teach you, like, Taekwondo and how to take someone to the ground. No, your decision making is what increases or decreases your personal safety. And I see people doing dumb things all the time that can get you so hurt and that can get you in really, really, really bad situations. I am 38 years old, I carry a gun for a living, and I don't put myself in bad positions and think, oh, well, I'm this big bad police officer, I can handle anything. That's ignorant, that's stupid. The days that I'm off, the days that I'm not on the road, because my shift is, I work 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. The days I'm not at work, I'm in my house by 10 o'clock. I have no business being out on the street. And we just had this conversation with Khalid. He's like, my friends are allowed to, I don't care what your friends are allowed to do. I don't care one bit. I will hurt their feelings. My concern is you and your safety, and we love you, and if anything happens to you, we can't replace you. So if other parents are allowing their kids to be out on the road after 9 and 10, nothing good happens on the street after 9 and 10. I work night shift. It is a completely different part of society that's out after 9 o'clock. Completely different. You got people driving around that are drunk. You got people driving around that are high. We've had a stupid amount of shootings in Copley on the highway where it's a road rage incident and the car in the right lane starts shooting at the car in the left lane, and 7 people going through the center lane get hit in the process. Nothing good happens at night at all. So parents, like, don't feel bad if your kid, whether it's a girl or a boy, women are more likely to be victimized. Don't feel bad saying no to your kids all day and twice on Fridays. Don't feel bad because you're protecting them, and a lot of times when they're younger, they don't understand that decisions that you're making on their behalf is actually what's best for them. But like with the whole curfew thing, like if you have kids and like they're 19 or 20-year-old and they're like, oh, I'm 18, I'm allowed to stay your butt at home. You're not allowed to do nothing. Because I'm telling you, nothing good happens. I work night shift. I've worked night shift for like, I don't know, 3 years, and before I worked night shift before. And there's a segment of society that you guys are not even aware of that is just out at night. Like you guys are awake during the day, they're just out at night committing crime and hurting other people. And I want you guys to understand, like for the kids in the room, I know that it's very hard to believe this, but your parents really do care about you. And even though sometimes they fail to communicate that, know that they're making those decisions to keep you safe. And like I said in the beginning of our presentation, I personally don't care if you get in trouble. I personally don't care if you get arrested. You want to experience a night in Summit County Jail? It's traumatic. You'll never be the same person again. Go ahead and do it, and email me, find me on LinkedIn, let me know how your experience was. I care about your safety. I care about you getting hurt or something really bad happening to you because you were at the wrong place at the wrong time. If your parents don't allow you to do certain things, know that it is for your benefit. You might not like it personally. I don't care. But respect what your parents are trying to do. Being an adult is very hard. Being a parent is very hard, and you're not going to appreciate what your parents are doing for you now until you are in their shoes. Like, my parents are not the happiest people on the planet that I don't have kids. I personally, after spending 15 years in uniform, I would never bring a child into this world, ever. I'm already so worried about the kids that I have in my life now, from 17 years old to a year and a half, because I am aware of the evil that exists in the world. You guys aren't. You walk around like, wake up every day, smell the roses, everybody's trustworthy, everybody's friendly, you high-five strangers, you add strangers. Just like that, your life can be turned upside down just because you allowed the wrong person in your life, or because you have friends that engage in risky and bad decision-making. Just remember, you're always one decision away from a completely different life. One. And it could be a good decision that drives you in the right direction, and it could be a really bad decision that ruins the rest of your life. And just take it from my perspective. I cannot stress this enough to the parents in the room, to the kids. Just understand that there's like evil out there, and there's people that don't care about you, and they want to hurt you, and they want to hurt your family, and they want to exploit you, and they just don't care. And it's very hard for you guys to relate to that because we're raised to be very compassionate, and we're raised to love, and we're raised to care about each other. But there's people out there that they're psychopaths, and they're very evil, and they just don't care. They don't care about you. They don't care about your mom, your dad. They don't care about your health and safety. They don't care that you're a nice person. They don't care that you volunteer at the homeless shelter on the weekends. They don't care that you do charity. They don't care. They will hurt you, and they will get what they want, and then they're going to move on to the next victim. And please stay home after 9 o'clock. Like, don't be out at night, because nothing good happens. You could be going to McDonald's to get some fries and a shake because that's what you're craving. And something can happen, and it could change the rest of your life. Like, it's not a good place to be. Don't be out past 9 o'clock. I don't care what curfew says. I don't care if your friends are doing it. I don't care if you're 30 or if you're 21 and you want to act big and bad and an adult. There's nothing good that happens after 9 o'clock at all. Nothing. Not one thing. Ask my family. I send them, they wake up to like pictures of cars turned over and bullet holes in walls, and I'm like, you guys, you'll never guess what I dealt with tonight. It's nothing good happens at night at all. Nothing. It doesn't make you cooler. It doesn't increase your maturity. It just puts you in a lot more risk and danger. So I think we're opening it for questions for the next 15 minutes. So do you guys have any questions? You don't have any questions? Yes, do you have a question? Okay. Do any of the adults have questions? Any of the parents have questions about anything? Really? No questions? Yes. Yes. Yes.
The concept of creating, I've been told this by one of my professors before. He created his Facebook profile to control his internet presence. Somebody else has the same name like him, and he's a party boy, and this was a university professor who was acclaimed with publication.
So he used like an alias name?
He wanted to create his online presence. So what are the good steps if somebody has an online presence can do to control his or her internet presence?
Okay, so the question is, what can you do to control your internet presence, like in a positive way? And Shaimat talked about this earlier. First of all, it's okay to use an alias. An alias name is like I don't ever put my real name on anything. Like at the gym, when I'm signing equipment, at the restaurant, my name is always Jasmine. Online, I always spell my name differently because I don't want people to find me. Like even if they know my name, I don't want you to find me, because if I'm not giving you my personal information, you have no business looking me up. So it's okay to use an alias name. Like instead of like, if your name is Muhammad, it's okay to be like, my name is Jack Smith, okay? Secondly, make sure that your locations are turned off, like on your phone. Make sure your location on your phone is turned off. Make sure your geolocation is turned off. Stop tagging yourself everywhere. Number one, nobody cares. I hate to break it to you, they don't. They don't. Number two, people know when you're not home. And you're like, okay, so what? I'm not home. Okay, cool, your mom is home by herself, or your siblings are home by themselves, or your elderly dad or grandpa is at home by themselves and you're not there to protect them. So make sure your locations are off. Stop tagging people, because like I said, nobody cares what you're doing in your life except the people that like love you and care about you. And just be very mindful with the pictures that you post, because every single picture that you post, you're like, here's more information about my life. Here's where I shop. Here's where I eat. Here's my routine. Like, we're all, human beings are creatures of habit. Like, we do the same exact thing every day. And if somebody wanted to find you, they will find you. Like, that's what we do. Like, people run from the police all the time. I was like, I know where you work, and I know where you live, and I know where your mom's house is, because they post everything online. So just with a few click of a buttons, I wait until they have a really big event, like it's their birthday or something, and that's when I go get them, just to like ruin their day a little extra hard. So be very mindful with the amount of information that you're posting online. And just be private. It's okay for people not to know everything about you. It's okay. Yes.
One more question. For the kids we have who happen to be 13 or 14 and they happen to babysit their younger siblings at home by themselves, what are the safety tips if you're the oldest sibling and you're 14 babysitting your siblings? What to do?
Thank you for bringing that up. Okay, so this is not really related to social media, but it's related to safety. And adults do this, and it drives me absolutely nuts. Like, the couple times at work that I flipped my lid and acted out of character, it's because when people, kids your age, are at home if you're by yourself or if you're babysitting your younger siblings and something goes wrong, like someone knocks at the back door, someone is trying to kick in the front door, who do you think they call first? I wish. They don't. They don't call us first. They call their mom. I had a call months ago at one of our hotels. Don't ever go to any of our hotels. They're terrible. Where I swear to God, this is what happened. Because I told you guys in the beginning that adults make the same bad decisions as kids, right? There's unfortunately sometimes no difference. So I'm sitting at the gas station, minding my own business, listening to my music, chilling, hanging out in my cruiser. A truck pulls up to me and says, hey, there's a guy in my lobby with a gun. And I was just like, there's a guy in your lobby with a gun? And he's like, yeah, blah. And like he's talking and I pull away because I know he's the owner of one of our hotels. I get to the hotel, sure enough, there's a guy there with a gun, high off cocaine, looking for someone to rob, okay? He was high, he was on another planet, which seems really nice sometimes to leave planet Earth, but not through drugs. And I was the first officer there, I was by myself, and what happened was the kid at the front desk, who was like 25, which makes him an adult, when he saw this guy with a gun, he called his manager. He didn't call us. Why call the police? What's the police going to do? The manager didn't answer, so he wastes more time and he calls the owner. The owner doesn't think to call us because why would he? So the owner leaves his house and drives to the hotel. I just want you to think like how bad the situation could have been. So thank God, alhamdulillah, the guy saw me pull up with my cruiser and he tosses a loaded gun under the car. And I had to stand there and have him at gunpoint until other officers arrived. But he was armed. He's been arrested like 5 or 6 times for having a weapon when he's not supposed to have a weapon. And he was high off cocaine. And it could have been a really, really, really bad situation. You'll never get in trouble for calling 911 if you are in legitimate danger. Okay? Understand that when you call 911, nobody else can call 911. So you're holding that line. So if it is an emergency, like if you guys are at home by yourself, if you see someone get robbed, please don't call your mom. Your mom's not going to do anything at all besides scream and freak out. Hang up and call 911, and then you can notify. If you're involved in an accident, don't call your insurance like they tell you to. Call 911. You're never going to get in trouble for calling. We're not going to show up and yell at you for calling because we wanted you to call someone else first. And I want you to understand that like seconds, that we don't take seconds in consideration. To you and to some of the situations that you guys get caught in, seconds mean the difference between life and death. It's that serious. It's a life and death issue. So I don't want you to like waste time and like this. Just another reason, like speaking of social media, you guys, and I was guilty of it, but I don't do it anymore. Next time you're in traffic, I want you to look around you and I want you to see how many people are sitting at the red light like this. And they're not looking at what's going on around them, okay? Your personal safety has a lot to do with your awareness. Do you guys know what awareness means? Like realizing what's going on around you? This lady in Akron, like, I don't know, a couple years ago, she was at a red light. The person sitting in front of her, they kicked out the window and they threw the girl, the driver, out of the car and they took her car and left at a red light. And when the police showed up, of course, the girl that got robbed was traumatized. She couldn't talk to the police. She couldn't remember anything. So they asked, naturally, the driver behind her. They're like, hey, did you see what car they had? Was it a black or white male? Did you see what they were wearing? She couldn't answer any of the questions. And she said, to be honest, I had my face in my phone. So like a whole robbery took place in front of her and she saw nothing. And when I started driving, I think when Shaymat was pregnant with Khalid, we were right here on Bailey Road, Front Street. And there was an older guy behind us. We were stopped at a red light. Everybody was stopped, and he was going about 50 miles an hour. And he almost hit my car going 50 miles an hour. And I moved just because I was paying attention. And she was sitting in the passenger seat, pregnant. And I happened to be looking in my rearview mirror, and I'm like, oh my God, this guy's about to smash into us. And I moved and I hopped up on the sidewalk with my car, and it probably saved our life. Do not walk around with your face in your phone. Don't do it, because somebody could be running at you with a gun, a car could be coming in your direction, somebody else could be getting hurt in the vicinity of where you're sitting and standing, and you can't protect yourself and you can't do anything to protect other people because your face is in your phone. Don't do that. It's not safe.
And like another thing, if you are home, even if I'm home, I do not open the door for a single person. If I don't expect company, I don't care if the electric company's coming to my house, I am legit, I don't open the door. For electric company, the UPS man, if you need a signature, here, just leave it, I'll pick it up another day or I'll put it in there. A couple of months ago, there was a girl abducted because she opened the door to the UPS driver. He's not like, I mean, it's a UPS driver, contracted through UPS, dropped it off, but he kidnapped a 7-year-old girl. She was assaulted and found murdered like, I think 3 or 6 miles away from her own house. Do not open the door for anybody. If your parents are not home, do not open the door. I don't open the door, I'm a parent. I don't open the door if anybody's there. Pizza, sure, if you're expecting somebody, but that's a big thing. Like kids, you guys, like if it's a package, I mean, somebody can pick up a package and it's fake and like, hey, I have a package for you, and they come into your house and rob you and kill whoever needs to be killed. Do not open the door for anybody outside of your own family. I don't care who they are, especially if you're home by yourself. I literally walk around, I don't trust human beings. I don't care what human being is in front of me, I do not trust them. I walk around life protecting myself with that mentality. Don't be trusting to anybody.
So just to emphasize what she said, in case you guys didn't hear her, do not open the door. Adults, kids, do not open the door. You want to talk to them through the door? Like I have a camera. I have 6 cameras inside my house and 7 on the outside, and one of them is the doorbell. I don't care who you are. Like I've never met the people that do my grass. I've never met the people that remove my snow. I don't let anybody see me. I don't need to see you. I will pay you when you get the work done, and we don't need to see each other. We don't need to talk. Text me or send me an invoice or whatever. Don't open the door, ever. Okay, if somebody comes up to your door and they're pounding on the door and they're acting like they have a heart attack or they're bleeding, do you open the door? You better not. You better call 911. You're not a first responder. Let us do our job. Because that's exactly what people do to bait you. Like they will go buy fake blood and they will come to your door and they will fake a whole murder scene just to be able to get into your house. Don't ever, ever, ever open the door. I don't care I don't care if it's a kid. We have people that like, it's so sad, you guys. They bring their kids with them to shoplift. And then they throw their kid in the car and they run from the police. And they're like mother and father of the year. They'll use kids to bait you. They'll have the kids come and knock on your door, and the second you open the door, someone's gonna kick in the door and they're gonna come in your house. Your door is the only thing that's protecting you from the outside world. I don't care what the circumstances are. Do not ever open the door, ever. Don't do it. It is one of the biggest mistakes that you can make in your life. And just call the police. Be like, hey, someone just knocked on my door. Someone just knocked on my window. There's someone at my door that's bleeding. It's not your job. Your job is not to help other people. Don't open the door. Like, there's a lot of bad things that happen when you remove that barrier that's protecting you from the outside world. Don't open the door. Did one of you guys have a question? With your face in your phone? See, they don't even know I'm talking to them. They don't even know I'm talking to them. Did you guys have a question? Did you have a question? Did you have a question? Okay, did you have a question? Okay. Yeah. Yes. Should our kids be doing trick or treat? Okay, so I don't know, like if you're conservative Muslim, I guess some people don't do trick or treat. When we do trick or treat in Copley, every single police officer is out on the road because it's a really good opportunity for bad people that we talked about earlier to like scope out the kids. And if you are going to go trick or treating, regardless of where it's at, first of all, go to a safe community. Don't go to an unsafe community. Secondly, like take your parents with you or like a trusted adult. Yeah, don't go on your own. Don't do it. I don't even like my parents going anywhere by themselves because it's just not safe. And if I'm there, I feel like they're safer. It's not safe for you to go by yourself. Don't go by yourself. Yes. What happens if you're home by yourself? Just if you guys are at home by yourself, which by the way, the legal age, well, there's no like legal age, but like 12, you have to be at least 12 years old. And it depends on if you're like a mature or immature 12-year-old. Make sure all of your windows and doors are locked. Don't open the door. And if you hear or see something that makes you feel unsafe, make sure you call the police first before you call your family. Okay, I think we have time for one more. Go ahead. Okay, that's such a good question, and I think it's a good way to end this conversation. He said, how do you know if a community is safe or not? There is no such thing as a safe community. There's no such thing as a safe community. People used to think that like Beechwood is safe, right? People are like, oh, Beechwood is such a nice place to live. Beechwood has gone, Beechwood is a nice place to live, but the problems in their mall is so bad that now they have a police department inside the mall. Like the police are always there, so they're like, we're gonna make a little makeshift police department for you guys. So there's really no such thing as a safe community. You have to expect crime and bad things to happen anywhere. Okay, good question. Okay, one more. Never mind. Okay, any last minute questions? We're 2 minutes past our 7:30 time. Just please remember some of the things that we talked about today. Please remember that it's not cool to be a follower. It takes a little bit of extra work for you guys to be a leader, and that's okay. Please try not to succumb to the peer pressure that's around you. Yes, Mama. My mom has a question, guys. We have to answer her question. Yes. Okay. No. Absolutely not. Like, I used to run, and I used to go out and run all the time at night, and I can't tell you guys how many times I've been almost hit by a car. And I was like in reflective gear. I want you guys to think about how many distracted drivers are on the road. People texting and driving, which is now, come April, Governor DeWine made it a primary offense, which means that if a police officer is driving and he sees you looking at your phone, he's gonna stop you and it's a $180 ticket. We don't need any other, you don't need to be speeding, you don't need to be doing nothing else. If I see you looking at your phone, I have every right to stop and cite you. Because so many people are getting killed as a result of distracted driving. So you have people that are drinking and driving, you have people that are smoking weed and driving, you have people that are doing pills and driving, you have elderly folks that sometimes shouldn't be driving, you have young people that in my book shouldn't be driving. Like, a lot of people on the road are not paying attention, and when you're walking on the roadway, first of all, safety issue, someone can just like roll up and scoop you up and toss you in a trunk or in a van and take off and hop on Route 8 north or south, and we'll probably never hear from you again. And I'm not exaggerating, that's an honest to God truth, because you guys are like 90 pounds. And secondly, you can get hit by a car, and do you think that person's gonna stop? They're not gonna stop. And it's just not safe. It's not safe for you to be walking at night. Find an adult to take you to where you're trying to go. Do not walk on any street at night. I don't care if it's in your neighborhood or one of the main streets out there, unless you're with an adult or with a group of people.
And you're not gonna starve. You're leaving Halakha, first of all, you're leaving Halakha just to leave, just to be cool, just to go to McDonald's. Several years ago, there was a group of kids, because I know Ramadan is coming up and I know all of you are gonna do that, but I know it happened, I don't know where, but I know several years ago, a group of Muslims, not here, kids were walking from the mosque to like the next gas station, the McDonald's or whatever, and it was a group of kids. And again, there was a girls in hijab, so there was a couple of cars that stopped and said some racial slurs, said some stuff to them. The kids kind of like said some stuff back, and one of the girls, I believe, they caught assaulted and killed on her way with her friends. Her friends left her because they're in danger. Nobody's gonna like sit there and defend their friend. This was a 14 or 15-year-old girl. It's also on the news. She literally was walking from her mosque with a group of kids to the McDonald's or to the gas station, and a whole bunch of, because we live in a society that does not understand Islam. No thanks to the former president that kind of like made hatred come up, and more people are like showing more hate. So you don't want to put yourself, it's really, listen, the world is not the worst place, but it definitely has a whole bunch of bad things. So don't put yourself in a situation to where like, I'm gonna walk from the mosque, the gas station is here, the gas station is there, and get killed or kidnapped or assaulted or what else could happen just because you want some fries. Not worth it.
Okay, well, thank you guys for being here. That concludes the end of our presentation.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your attendance. We can't thank you enough for the gift of your time, for the information you have provided today. It's very valuable. We can't thank you for the gift of your time, for what you shared with us, for enlightening us, adults and kids alike. So may Allah protect your children, and thank you again. This is, you did a wonderful job to the extent we'll invite you to other places and annually thereafter. So.
Thank you. So I had some questions from parents that they texted me.
Oh, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I don't know if Musa got any online, but I got some in the PTA. Yeah, they want to know spy apps for the phone. Is there any, huh? Bark. If you guys can send it to me on message. Yeah, send them to me on the message and I'll post it in the parents group. And the other ones, they wanted to know about Photoshop.
By the end of the day, Bark, it's called Bark. It actually tracks every single picture. And it's like they say, it flags like specific words, like if they use a specific word, it will alert the parent, it will send a text message. Pictures.
Don't ask at the end. They said don't ask in front of the kids.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want the kids to know.
Oh, I have parents that do the same exact thing. And it was on for a while, but now I'm like, oh, it's like,
What's an appropriate age for Snapchat?
I mean, all of them is 13. But that's legal. That's technically not legal.